What's up everyone, my name is Jack Murphy and this is the 20th monthly dividend income update video. In these videos I go over what stocks have been paying me dividends, what stocks I've been buying, and what stocks are my best and worst performers. So let's get right into it with the dividend payments first. In the month of October we only got 6 dividend payments, but it starts off strong with a $2.63 dividend payment from UGI, and then we get a $2.18 dividend payment from JEPI, bringing our total to $4.81 so far. Then on October 10th, we get a $3.46 dividend payment from Altria Group, bringing our total dividends to $8.27. On October 13th, we get a monthly dividend payment from Main Street Capital of 94 cents. And later that day, we get a $1.72 from Realty Income, our favorite monthly payer. This brings our total so far to $10.93. And on October 31st, a day after I'm filming this, I'm going to get $1.20 from JP Morgan Chase, bringing my total to $12.13 for the month of October. So if we go over to look at the new totals, as you can see, for the month of October, $12.13. For the next 12 months, the monthly average, if I were to not add any more money to the account, would be $17.69. And the new total for a whole year of dividends, if I were to not add any money to the account, would be $212.31. Last October, our total dividends for the month were $6.08, meaning we've had a 99% increase in dividend payments since last year. Obviously, October was a negative month for the stock market, and it was in my portfolio as well. In my portfolio, we had about a negative 3.41% return this month. This actually beat the S&P 500, which had a negative 3.9% return this month, and it beat the NASDAQ, which had about a negative 4.36% return. But it slightly lost out to the Dow Jones at a negative 3.16% return. So that's the total performance for the portfolio. Let's go over the worst and best performers in this month. So obviously a lot of red on the screen right now, but if we look at the 3 worst performers, it was AbbVie at a little bit over negative 9%, UGI at a little over negative 12%, and Lowe's at about a negative 12.24% return. Not a great month for those 3 stocks, but we also did have 3 stocks that did all right. Starbucks managed to crack in the green at a negative 0.1% return. Verizon stayed strong at a positive 1.71% return. And Intel has been doing all right at a positive 3.66% return. But obviously, overall, the month did not look too great. But I always like to say the month-to-month doesn't really matter as long as the long-term, these are all positive, good companies. You will be fine. But I just look at the month-to-month because it is a cool stat to look at for the videos. Now let's look at the contributions I made in October, which was a pretty big month where I did buy a lot of stocks, as you can see, because I added about $250 this month, and I had about $200 sitting in the account from the last few months. So I made a big purchase this month where I bought $50 of Realty Income, $50 of Target, $50 of Johnson & Johnson, $50 of Lowe's, $80 of Pepsi, $38 of Main Street Capital, which is about 1 share, and $98 of Texas Roadhouse, a new company I bought this month. Before I move on to the November segments, let's talk about that new stock I added, Texas Roadhouse. So Texas Roadhouse is basically just an American restaurant chain. That's a pretty good restaurant, and they're doing well at expanding in America. And the reason I really like them is because their balance sheet, they have $107 million in cash and cash equivalents, $2.5 billion in assets. They have no long-term debt and about $1 billion in stockholders' equity. They have good dividend stats and look like a company that will do well for the long term. It seemed like a good time to start dollar cost averaging while the stock price is low. Before we end the video, I always like to look at next month's dividend payments. It looks like we are going to be getting 9 dividend payments in the month of November from JEPI, Verizon, Lowe's, Apple, AbbVie, Main Street Capital, Realty Income, Procter & Gamble, and Starbucks. So don't know exactly how much they're going to be yet, but it looks like a good month. Let's go over my strategy for November. Right now I'm just dollar cost averaging everything I'm putting into my account because I think the market is on a downtrend right now, and this is the time to be stocking up on some stocks and positions, so when the market flips back up, and who knows how long, you'll actually get to make some good profits. That's all this video. Thanks so much for watching. Here's some other things on my channel you could check out, but if that's it, peace.